Welcome to the PlayVS and NASEF Upgrade Arena, sponsored by Lenovo Legion.
That's right, we're doing it again, but this time we're inviting competitors to bring their best Rocket League trio. The great thing about this tournament is that the further you get, the more prizes you win. That's right, if you get to quarters, you get guaranteed gear to take home. Semis, you get that plus more. Our finalists, yes, even more prizes. And the winning team gets all that plus the grand prize, a Legion Tower. And yes, that's for each player on the team. We're excited to see what you got.
Hey everyone, welcome to the PlayVS Upgrade Arena brought to you by Lenovo. We're going to be featuring the best Rocket League talent from high schools across America. So I'm excited to get into today with my buddy Bass. I'm pointing out the right side. There we go.
I know it's a little difficult occasionally here, but I'm excited for this morning. Like you said, we've got some of the best talent in all of high school Rocket League, and I'm hoping our audience at home is going to be a bit familiar with some of these names as well. These are not just high school talents that have done well at a local level, but some of these guys have even done well in the professional and bubble scene. So I'm hoping we've got a great day of competition ahead of us.
Ooh, yeah, and well, what is everyone fighting for? We gave you a teaser video, but just to reiterate, this is brought to you by our amazing sponsor of Lenovo. So check them out. Every victory. Oh, they gave us like such a powerful speech, and I really want to read this one. Every victory born of defeat, moments that test your resolve, but you push on relentlessly, always moving. I got a theater background, by the way. This goes crazy. Always moving forward because the game only ends if you let it. That's the power of Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible. But yeah, our winners are going to be receiving 3 Lenovo PC towers. I'm so excited. These are some beefy units, and your Rocket League is going to pop off with this.
Oh yeah, and the good thing is, even for the players that are not able to win this entire thing, they're not going home empty-handed. Even the players that are not here today, as this tournament has actually been running offline, not on stream here, are still going to be able to get themselves some Lenovo mice, as well as our semifinalists grabbing themselves some keyboards here. But if just making it to the grands, look at those Lenovo Legion monitors. My goodness, I would love to snag one of those myself. But like we said, the grand prize are going to be those PCs on the very right. So no matter what, just for making it in to our bracket here today, you are guaranteed you're taking at least something home. And speaking of which, look at our bracket overall. We're only going to be seeing our semifinalists. Like I said, we do have a couple of other series that have been played offline, not here on stream. So shout out to our teams that have been able to make the top 8. But now we are down to the top 4. And I believe we are starting on the right side here with Galactic Final Gambit, awesome team name, versus Xpere. And Xpere's probably going to perk a couple people's ears here, because you're going to look at that and go, you mean like the coach? Yeah, like the coach. Xpere's players are actually playing in this tournament here. Remember I said you recognize some players? Well, Revere and Kofyr are 2 players I think a lot of our audience is going to be familiar with. Make sure to pay attention to Enzo and their opponents in Galactic Final Gambit and Xsync, Corgi, and Coop. Lemon, this should be a great start to our day.
Absolutely. Like you've already talked about Reveal and being part of Snowmen, and a unconfirmed signing to Spacestation Gaming, like one of the youngest, most successful, I mean, bubble to pro, path to pro, if you will. Like it's so cool to see how Reveal has grown as a player, and to have Kofyr, who he himself has some really interesting tryouts in the pro scene. Excited to see where he lands. But they're going up against Corgi, Xsync, and Coop, where Xsync was telling us that they won a state championship, him and Coop. So I think still some tough competition, but Xpere is definitely going to be the team to beat.
It is definitely going to be, at least in my opinion, the favorites for this entire tournament, just with the professional experience that they have behind them. But again, I've watched a lot of high school championships, some championships from players at a amateur level, and they get competitive, and there are a lot of hidden gems within the scene. A lot of these guys go on to go and play in collegiate levels of Rocket League, and really they get discovered from high school events like this, from state championships and the latter. So I'm hoping to see this team step up. Every once in a while you'll come into series like this and go, yeah, I've gotten expected results. And then these high school kids, man, they show you something special. The talent that is hidden here at a high school level is genuinely unbelievable.
And we'll be jumping into our first game soon, but if you don't know what this is, of course, we gave you a teaser video, but it's PlayVS and NASEF who have worked together to challenge amateur players from the ages of 13 to 18, you know, middle school, high school, players across the country to be part of Upgrade Arena to challenge themselves in Rocket League, and for Lenovo Legion to come in and supply them with equipment is so amazing, because I know at that age, you know, your parents don't probably totally believe in the esports career, your journey, or even if you don't take it super seriously at that point, your equipment is not something you really upgrade till you get like adult money. But Lenovo stepped in and we got keyboards, mice, and the PC towers is the big prize everyone is looking for. So put ! upgrade to learn more about Upgrade Arena. And of course, a shout out to our co-streamers who are helping support the show today. I know, say hello to Garrett G and Nikki Justine and other co-streamers who could be joining us. But for now, we're just waiting for our players to get into the lobby. And I heard we got a interesting substitute, Bass.
Well, we'll bring it back up. You guys can read it while we announce it here. So if you didn't already think that Xpere were the favorites coming into this one, well, here's Reveal's teammate in Frosty, another member of this Snowman roster who is potentially being signed to that Spacestation Gaming roster, as we mentioned earlier today. So now you've got 2/3 of Snowmen and Kofyr, another professional level player. I wish the best of luck to Galactic Final Gambit here. Again, I do not think that they are just going to get absolutely stomped, but I do think that they are coming into this the underdogs now, having to truly step up to the test that is Xpere and the team underneath it. I'm wondering if Xpere is also helping coach these guys at the same time here. I'd have to imagine with 2/3 of the roster being his players.
That, or these are just the 3 biggest Xpere fans ever. So I hope he's watching and he's proud. We'll get into this very soon, y'all, but these schools have a lot of experience. They've gone through qualifiers to get to this point. We only have 4 schools remaining, and they range from just all over the place. I know BJHS comes from Alabama. We got Galactic coming from California, Minions coming from different parts. We got Texas, Florida, New York, and Xpere, who Texas, New York, Arizona, different places. So all over the US.
Look, you said California at least once in there. I'm going to be rooting for whatever the California team is. I just guaranteed
West
a little
Coast.
part of me. Yeah, a little bit of me has to represent for the West Coast. We already, unfortunately, have most, I'd say, professional and high-level Rocket League players being somewhere in either Texas or the East Coast. So I got to rep the West just a little bit here today. But truly, I do think that all of our teams deserve a massive shout-out, especially for a lot of these teams, which, as we've mentioned before, have competed in high school state championships. These guys are truly making sure the high school ecosystem in esports is thriving and succeeding. A lot of these players really are sort of the backbone for the entirety of this scene, the entirety of high school and scholastic esports. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to the different players we have participating here today. Again, these players have had to grind to get here. This is not the first round of this competition. They have had to qualify for these semifinals. And speaking of which, I think the semifinals are just about ready to go. We've got Galactic on the left, Xpere on the right in orange. And like I said, pay attention. We're going to see how competitive this is going to be. If Xpere come out the gates firing, good luck stopping them.
How is Xpere's chemistry going to look off the bat? These are 3 extremely mechanical players. First, it's Frosty getting set up by his own team. The 3rd man rushing, bulldozing for the final tap. You got a trifecta of offense from Xpere, but no goal.
So far, it's been a relatively quiet start. I'm not expecting it to stay this way for all too long, but I do like to see the little bit of fight back out of Galactic here. And they stop Kofyr, though. High in the sky, trying to go for 50 in front of net, but easily turned away by Xsync. The offense, though, keeps on flowing. So far, through the first minute, I'll be real, Lemon, I'm pretty impressed by Galactic. They do not seem to be backing down from any challenges. They do not look uncomfortable against the speed and the mechanics of Xpere.
Yeah, Xpere really trying to utilize that backboard in the last couple of offenses. Finally, Galactic get to see some offense, but as they were trying to go for an infield pass in the box, that gets denied. And I think Galactic have to be a bit more proactive on their defense when it does come to that backboard. Xpere are a mechanical team that will go for those double taps and may try to waterfall down, and it just comes down to Reveal sailing it across.
All right, there's the first goal, and honestly, a clever one at that. You can see Frosty coming off the sidewall, fakes like he's got another touch, but as soon as Xpere takes over, multiple defenders in net, doesn't matter for him. Slices it by, and the first goal found here, and again, not surprising. We're expecting Xpere to come out the gates really being the heavy favorites in this series, but Galactic, I do have to continue mentioning, do not seem to have any sort of trouble resisting the offense being built out at midfield right now. All they need is one good goal, and that'll get them right back into it. Maybe, I was going to say it could start here. A demo out at midfield, though. We're actually going to force them right back into defense, and Coop's got a lot of work to do out of this corner.
I like that Coop brought the ball up, just buying as much time as possible, getting a pass. Xpere, though, haven't let them escape from this blue half. It continues to be that midfield control. Borgie with a good touch just to sail it away. Galactic have to fight for a good 50 out of Coop, and that got dangerously close to the net, and he's alone in the corner. Some boost to work with. Xsync's trying to keep the rally going. Galactic built up good pressure there.
I will say, you mentioned something earlier that I think is definitely a point to watch right now. Xpere, despite the fact that, oh my goodness, they're going for goals like this, they do look a little bit uncoordinated. With the last-second sub, they might not have been practicing as this trio for all too long, so I have to imagine that this team's going to have to take a second to find some chemistry, find rotations. They haven't exactly full double committed on some of these plays, but it has gotten scarily close, as there's no way this goes in. They're almost freestyling at this point, Lemon. That was a triple pre-jump.
Yeah, this is Galactic. No, they gotta get ahead of this because Xpere still have the lead, and the demos. So much physicality, almost the double, not the fake. There's no second man there. Is this an open net? It is, and we're tied.
You got to be a little bit more careful than that, Xpere. I know you guys want to stunt a little bit, but you can stunt if you can guarantee the win and guarantee the lead. One goal up and quickly erased as we've got 2 minutes to go, and Galactic find the tie.
This is maybe a more even matchup than we thought, and this is a best of 7. We got a lot of Rocket League, and it's a kickoff goal for Galactic.
Oh boy, Xpere, you might be shaking your heads right now going, uh-oh, did we just open a can of worms that we have no idea how to close? I might be thinking, yes, 2 goals in less than 5 seconds from Galactic, and now they are the ones in the lead.
Yikes, Xpere maybe came into this match a little too confident. Borgie now can receive, has first man forward, Coop on the chase, playing cooperatively too. Chasing Frosty around. Xpere still looking comfortable. Kofyr having to adjust in the midfield to be able to back pass this. Wasn't able to draw Galactic too far away from their net until Reveal has them on the chase.
I like this. Good defense being displayed right now by Galactic. They are not shying away from challenges, just constantly challenging players off the backboard or in front of net. And I know Xpere are trying to develop some plays, but they're just not being given the time. That's kind of how you have to play against a team like Xpere. When you know your opponents are hyper-mechanical and very quick to the ball, you need to make sure you are meeting them for these challenges. Don't give them the extra space that they're absolutely looking for. And Xsync doing a great job at that. The jump out at midfield, plus the extra touches, has now forced Xpere into yet another defense.
Oh, Frosty, misses the... Well, at least it gets it to Kofyr, and Reveal steals the corner boost, so this is an important play for Xpere to find the tie, and as Frosty went for the big home run, Galactic find the clear. And Galactic have been trying to 50 everything. The only way Xpere can get the ball away is to take it up high. And Xpere, that's where they could really depend on their mechanics to shine and see if they can play at a higher pace against Galactic, but so far it's been a difference of a kickoff that has rewarded Galactic with possibly a game 1, and now this will seal the deal.
Third goal here, and this is coming off the back of the demos. We talked about this. The overextensions from Xpere have already costed them 1 goal. It'll cost them another. This one, though, well earned from Galactic, recognizing the player downfield, demoing them before they get a chance to even react to the ball that's coming into their side, and boom, Galactic find themselves down 3-1 with 30 to go. Reveal trying to cut that lead in half, and he's going to. The flip preset into the pinch, and it's 3-2.
What a disgusting fake. Can you do it again in 21 seconds, though? And to bring this ball low against Coop, really good understanding of that situation from Reveal and Xpere. A lot of huge upcoming names in the bubble scene now. I guess technically entering the pro scene very soon. Excited for the new season, but Frosty will be stopped in his tracks. 13 seconds for Xpere to get those mechanics going to see they could just solo play their way to a tie, but being in the orange half is not gonna be good. Frosty has to make up for a lot of space, brings it under Corgi.
Oh.
Reveals locking up Xsync, and at the 0 second, we have a tie.
Are you kidding me? Frosty, honestly clever here though in flipping in, trying to go for the reset, doesn't even get close and recognizes, okay, well I actually don't even need to touch this. Let it hit the ground. We've already got a defender flying at me expecting a 50. They make no contact, and like you said, Xsync absolutely busy in the goal. No option but to flip towards the ball and pray. And they better pray right now that they can actually keep this lead and take the win again. Galactic were up 3-1 with less than 30 to go, and now they might be facing a game 1 defeat. Xpere starting off with some offense.
Okay, Kofyr just a touch to get away from the challenge. Good comms from Xpere. Now you're not worried about the kickoff. That was one of the goals from Galactic. Open nets, though, have really hurt Xpere. There's a demo, 3-on-2 reveal with the reset, trying to bring it low, but not low enough. Galactic hold the wall, and the net seems open, and Xpere haven't found that chance to really pierce it yet.
Oh, but they might get it here. Kofyr, the drop down, and Xsync the take away. Great defense again from Galactic right now, but they're really only displaying one half of the pitch. The defense cannot be the only thing that Galactic do through a minute of play in overtime. I don't know if they've had a chance at offense, and they won't get it. Xpere, they complete the comeback and take the win.
My God, Xpere locked in when it matters the most. Fantastic placement from Reveal in the upper 90. Galactic stuck on defense, which held up very well. They were so good at putting the ball to the side against a very threatening and mechanical Xpere. But at the end, it's the hat trick for Reveal to just get them that closer, that much closer to the overtime, and eventually bleeding over into the game 1 win.
I mean, the big thing for me that I have to note is not only the fact that Reveal clutches up and gets the hat trick, as you mentioned, but Frosty getting the playmaker, 3 assists to his name, showing that, yeah, that Snowmen chemistry is starting to show. We did have some questions at the beginning of it, with Kofyr looking a little bit worse for wear and some double commits in some awkward spaces, but I honestly think that he realized very quickly, hey, I'm just going to let them go and chase, go and control offense, and if I need to, I will get involved, play a much more third-man role, a more defensive role, and honestly, I think it worked out. Once they figure that out, it was pretty much just offense from Xpere. They controlled the midfield, controlled the pace of play, and as much as Galactic did play well here, I think we have to mention 15 shots to 5. As soon as Xpere found the offense, they lived there the rest of the game.
Well, Galactic have found some good moments on the counterattacks. I mean, Xpere left their net open sometimes. Xpere like to send all 3 on offense, really just bringing that confidence of knowing, okay, Galactic may not be a team that can measure up to us. They won't be able to clear, and even if they do, they won't have possession when they do so. So Xpere hold up as much real estate, as much of the field as possible. But at times, Galactic have found those gaps to not only escape, but to punish that open net that Xpere have given up willingly. But we go to game 2 with a very exciting overtime win for Xpere at the 0-second mark as well. Excited to see how Galactic will respond.
By pre-jumping them out of midfield. Okay, Corgi, I see you. Automatically getting aggressive on this one, and it's not exactly going to pay off quite yet, but I was going to say it might at least show something special. Speaking of show something special, are you kidding me? Reveal and Frosty, the two-headed Hydra, strikes again.
Colliding in mid-air, and whew, that is a dangerous team, and we spoke about this in game 1. Galactic need to just get ahead of this, be proactive is what I call it, to try and challenge before the ball gets that close to your backboard, before it gets that close to your net. You don't want someone having to make a save at the goal line. That's uncomfortable, that's risky. And this almost just bounces in, and it does.
Nah. Just nah. This is so wrong from Kofyr in every way. Faking it out like he's got a 50. Definitely had a 50. And he's throwing it up. Define aura. Yeah, Kofyr, I get it. You weren't involved in the scoring in game 1. You wanted to shut us up for game 2. You've done a great job. 30 seconds in, and it's 2-0 already.
Xpere are already being creative with their offense, utilizing fakes, the resets in game 1. And it's just another element that Galactic have to face, and that's why you want to try and challenge this earlier on, and almost a chance for Corgi to score. And Xpere hold the line. Xsync will collect, but didn't get the full tank of boost. He won't be able to be in the air for too long. At least he got revealed jumping and using his resources, and Galactic are knocking at the door.
Galactic got a chance here as well. Off the backboard, a light pinch from Reveal, at least pinch it out to the opposite corner. The demo after I thought was actually going to be in favor of Galactic, but it's actually in favor of Xpere, who will challenge downfield quickly. But they've used all 3 players. The counterattack, an option here for Galactic if they can hustle. Maybe took a bit too long. A pinch, though, will fire just a bit off target. Maybe the follow-up could give them something. Corgi trying to keep it in front of the goal mouth. Unfortunately, no follow-up from his teammates and the double commit. This should be some extra space for Xpere to work with as they transition downfield.
Jeez, Xpere going for those mid-air passes again, and if those start connecting, Galactic are gonna have to be worried. How can you close down those angles? I mean, the midfield has been no issue. Transitions easy. A shot like that for Frosty, easy enough too.
Super sub showing up pretty quickly here as the chat both explodes in-game, and I'd have to imagine on Twitch as well. My goodness, Xpere putting on a display already. We are 2 minutes in to this second game, and I gotta say, Galactic, you are playing phenomenally. You need to take advantage of one of these counterattacks, though. You are not out of this series, not out of this game, not by a long shot, but one of these chances has to convert.
Yeah, defensively, Galactic have really impressed me, and Corgi almost found that second touch mid-air. This gets redirected towards the Galactic net. And Coop has been such a solid pillar on the back end. How can he help push the front to a singular goal? Xpere have cleaned up. I mean, to the point where they're just always on offense and Xpere don't have to worry about defense too much. But like you said, the counterattacks are going to be key for Galactic.
Ooh, I like the passing play as they start up a counterattack. Unfortunately, it is going to be at the expense of pretty much all of their boosts, so not much option but to try and fly at the ball and hope that they can make contact. Speaking of which, I mean, this is not going to be, or is it going to be converted? Maybe? Yes? No? All right. It'll live in from the net for at least a couple of seconds. It won't be converted, but my goodness, you talk about the speed on counterattacks. Xpere really showing exactly what we're talking about. So quick with their ability to get in front of the net and at least take a semi-lethal shot, even if it doesn't convert every time. It's what we need to see out of Galactic right now. They're playing phenomenally, like you said, on defense, but they need to show they can do the same on offense. A chance here. Coop just needs to drop down, but can't get past Reveal.
Galactic just don't have a lot of offensive options. You assess the field of where Xpere are sitting. There's one on the backboard and one in each corner, and you know they'll be able to cross in front of the net. So Galactic trying to see if they can win a 50 in front of the net, and this is just open. Xpere are going to have to adjust. Xsync has time to get back in net. Reveal takes the shot high, goes for the double, and sinks it.
Reveal finally getting on the scoreboard here. Surprising after getting a hat trick in maybe about a minute or two in the last game. He finally gets on with a 90-second mark just about chiming, and he does so with an exclamation point. My goodness, the double touch off the backboard. And I think that might seal the deal. Technically, there's a decent amount of time left, but good luck to Galactic. At this point, Xpere has shown they not only have just this hyper-electric offense, but their defense has stepped up at times that it needs to. Even the challenges off the backboard have just kind of prevented Galactic from building up enough offense to threaten.
Xpere are exposing a lot of those cracks in the defense by force. They're chasing Galactic around. You may not see demos or being registered, or you're not seeing physical bumps, but the act of Xpere just always being on Galactic's tail and even sometimes taking boost is really stressing out Galactic and maybe pushing them out of positions. Xpere have taken full advantage of this moment, and Coop just forces his way in for the first goal of Galactic.
You know what? I will take this for a number of reasons. Not only is it the first goal, like you said, to just kind of, right the ship at this point and give them some momentum, but they're also proving they also have the mechanical ability. An air dribble to a dunk on the line. Galactic, you might not have guaranteed yourselves a comeback quite yet, but you're showing this is still going to be a fight. If Xpere do want to take the win here, they still have a lot left to be done, especially with this series going to 7.
Yeah, Galactic play very good in-net defense. That still stresses me out because at least Galactic, that one goal they got was just being physical in the net. Maybe that could be the key to success. instead of the counterattack, so really just if you can get any attack going, that's great. But the air dribble bumps. If Xpere are only going to have one in net because they're confident enough to save anything, then see if you can send a second man or just bring a lot more force to the push. But 4-1, possibly end game 2 here. Putting Xpere up 2-0 in the series. Okay, Xsync gets one for the road. Not bad.
Again, still showing they've got some fight left in them. Unfortunately, it will not change the outcome, like you mentioned. This is just basically a consolation goal. But again, it is proving Galactic, despite the score lines being pretty heavily in favor of Xpere here in the second game, this was definitely competitive back and forth. And Galactic still, I think, have a couple aces up their sleeve that they haven't quite shown yet. However, for them, they're going to need to start showing it now. 2-0 here. Xpere have a significant lead. They win one more. They're on match point, and a reverse sweep required from Galactic. I'm going to guess that they should try to avoid that.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough hill to overcome for Galactic, but keeping this as close as they can. I like that there's some joking around in the Rocket League chat of just Galactic being pretty impressed already with the mechanics out the gate. You would expect any team to be slow to get the ball rolling, literally. And Xpere are out here hitting double taps and just sending the house at the back wall. So Xpere were not joking around. They came in almost too aggressive in game 1. Kind of gave up a kickoff goal, gave up an open net goal, and then Xpere calmed down. And now that they're composed, they are a very dangerous team. That's looking like a tournament winner already right there.
I mean, that was the prediction coming into this one. We know this team has the capabilities, and with the addition of Frosty on this squad, it's almost even more likely, in my opinion. But the big thing I will say is that right now, they do seem to be dominating the aerial game. One of the biggest places they seem to be having this amount of freedom to create these passing plays and more intricate plays are in the air. It's why we keep seeing them go for team pinches, passing plays with pre-jumps. It has been impressive the entire way through, but the main thing I will say is that it has also forced Galactic to start challenging them there, baiting them into these challenges, pulling players off the ground, and just sort of breaking down this defense that was so Loctite in game 1. It's still very possible in game 3 that they're going to be able to turn this around, but they need to. Like we said, if they lose this one, it's going to require 4 straight from Galactic to take a win in this series. If they want to try and keep this close, give themselves some breathing room, they need a win right here and now.
Ooh, Xsync had such a good launch and was carrying it through. Some good early pressure from Galactic. Even just right off the kickoff, they registered a shot on net. So I'm starting to see kind of Galactic become more comfortable in the air and maybe more comfortable to go for solo plays. But I think against a team as talented as Xpere, I wouldn't mind to see more passes from Galactic. And they've shown the potential of that. There is chemistry on this team. As Frosty sends it all the way back, and Xsync, third man back, has to try and stop Reveal.
Oh my goodness, Reveal, what a catch into an offense. What a way to start that off. But it's not going to matter much, as quickly it seems like Galactic are going to escape their defense. They'll be sent right back to midfield, though, as it does look like, oh, wait, maybe not. I was going to say, Xpere should have a free clear. Maybe overthinking this one a little bit, getting too fancy with the ball, and now more shots on target. Frosty going to be able to save that one, but Xpere's got to be careful. We talked about this in game 1 as well. You might have the better mechanics. You might be the team that can score first, but if you just give up a lead for kind of a nonsense play, it's not exactly going to be to your benefit.
Well, this is the most we've seen Xpere sweat in this series so far. Yeah. So Galactic have really brought a fire, and Coop is just trying to go for a high 50, and I think Xpere disengaged, so the ball was free, and it almost gets into the net, and Kofyr confirms it.
Kofyr calls the bluff here. He recognizes this ball is so powerful. There's probably not going to be a touch from Corgi. And as soon as he sees him miss it off the backboard, bang, redirect in. A narrow angle, but not for a player like Kofyr. Xpere up once again in this series with 3 minutes to go. Like we said, Galactic have got to show us that they've still got some tricks up their sleeve. They need to fight back. Definitely do not concede here. Easier said than done.
There was an initial really good effort from Galactic. If we were to see the replay here, there was a reset off Frosty, and Corgi tried to slow his car down and just tried to be as patient as he could. But Xpere Frosty still got past him and then was able to connect on a pass right at the goal line. So Galactic, I'm seeing the earlier challenges, earlier attempts to slow down Xpere, but the fakes is what's really dangerous and lethal about the offense of Xpere. Now utilizing the corner, all 3 players of Xpere are on this offensive third until they have to retreat.
I mean, I hate to use this word, but you know what? It's a high school competition. They'll relate to this one. It's the aura of this team. It really is. Xpere just truly have it. They know how good each of these individual players are. So when you see them go for a play, you have to make the challenge. You quite literally don't have an option, because if you give them the time and space and don't make a challenge, they're going to flip reset. They're going to do something mechanical. They're going to punish you for it. So it is Galactic having to see the other players on the other side, knowing what they're capable of, and going, all right, well, it's time to challenge. And Xpere have definitely used that to their advantage. Like you said, a lot of fakes in places where you would expect a 50, expect a challenge, and at least Galactic expects it, but Xpere, just the wiser. They know exactly how they need to play. They know how to throw a head fake here or there that catches Galactic off guard. This has been a fantastic game from them, but at the same time, Galactic, okay, well, I was about to say have played phenomenal defense. They're still in this. Unfortunate timing as they concede their third.
I mean, that's just Corgi, unfortunately, setting up the enemy at that point. Just any bad touch like that, Xpere are going to be all over that. Yeah, big sad face. How could you score? And Xpere will definitely be the team to run up the score on you. They're just going to try and get flashier with it. And they've done everything, from the ceiling to the ground pinch to the double tap to everything. Less than 2 minutes. Xpere in firm control of this game, of this series. And Galactic have come close to pulling off some nice solo plays, but being limited on boost doesn't help. They're starting to steal some boost from Xpere, but how can they get a goal going? That's the question.
Ooh, challenges like that off the backboard will definitely help them. I do appreciate that Galactic. Many teams in this scenario, once they do start to see that they are just being outpaced by their opponents, would start to shy away from challenges, would maybe get a bit more hesitant. Galactic are not at all. They have no fear. They are still making aggressive challenges, still getting in the face of their opponents, and really doing what they need to keep this series close. Unfortunately for them, it hasn't resulted in a goal here in Game 3, and with only about a minute to go, they need to hustle, try and get something started maybe here. Corgi off the backboard, looking for the double touch. Unfortunately, can't get around it.
There's some good support from Galactic. Like, if they find themselves awkward on the ball, there's a teammate to help them push. To 46 seconds. And Galactic, it just takes perfect mechanics. This Corgi almost could have set himself up to launch into the backboard, and Xpere just one step ahead as reveal with the, oh my god, the air dribble demo right into the net is pretty rude.
Come on now, Reveal. Come on, you didn't have to do him like this. You had no reason to. Now, granted, the thing is, he kind of did. If he didn't get that goal, I don't know if you saw, Frosty and Kofyr were right behind him. They were ready to steal that without a second thought. And honestly, Xpere, they're just about ready to steal this series. 30 seconds to go, and they're going to take a third game, barring a miracle from the Galactic side. This has been a series to remember in terms of, hey, we said coming into this one, there is a favorite that we expect to do well. We have now seen exactly what those favorites are capable of. There is still more games to go in this series, but Galactic, if you want to change up the results we've seen so far, you gotta go to the drawing board. The defense has been immaculate from this team, but the offense needs to back it up.
Well, at least it sounds really exciting for the future of, I guess, unconfirmed rumors, question mark, of Space Station and the young talent they're bringing on. And is this going to be, well, parts of the roster anyway, that can help Space Station propel themselves in North America? It's really exciting. And for them to still be in high school, like, imagine what they're going to be like once they get into CRL. Once they get into Eurorealm Bass, they're just going to take over, I guess.
These guys, I believe, at least for the Xpere side, Reveal and Kofyr are both 17, so they are just about ready to get into the collegiate space as soon as they're done with this, and I'd have to hope that they do. Professional space is great, but for those of you that maybe don't know as much about the collegiate, there's a huge ecosystem in Rocket League, one of the largest collegiate ecosystems on the planet. So, yeah, pay attention to these players, man. I promise you, you'll be hearing their names for many years to come. This team, not only professionally, but at a scholastic, high school, and collegiate level, will be extremely prevalent. Man, Xpere, I gotta say, you guys have played phenomenally, but I still want to give my props to Galactic. They have played not only very, very well, I really do believe that this team is still capable of getting some wins in this series. They have got to find some offense, but their defense has been so solid.
Yeah, because Xpere don't know what defense is like when they're just permanently on offense. And I think Galactic can catch an Xpere who is underestimating them, maybe not respecting them, and not respecting their own defense. So Galactic, it's been a while since we've seen a goal. There's been a lot of good attempts, but Xpere in these 50s have been solid. Now Reveal free on the ball, wards the back. Frosty is just is up, I guess, to put it off to the side. Wanted maybe a more quality opportunity, and well, here's a quality goal.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, the first lead for Galactic FG we have seen the entire series, and it's a well-earned one at that. Off the ceiling, extra flip saved in the bag, and Xsync uses it at the right time. I'm not even going to acknowledge what is happening in the top left with the trash talk coming out of Xsync here, but be careful. You know that old saying, don't poke the bear? Yeah, don't poke the bear.
Yeah. Oh, Corgi. Or no, that's Coop, actually. Good low pass, it bounces, and Frosty was right there, and Galactic need to have awareness of if they're gonna go for passes, where is Xpere on the field, and try to force the ball away from them. Ideally, is Corgi's gonna force the ball away, and he's got a good launch, can't get under the ball, but does connect with Xsync, who almost got the double.
At this point, it does kind of feel like Xpere are maybe trying to play a bit too fast for their own good. They're getting really aggressive with these demos and challenges, and I feel like if they threw back in those head fakes we talked about before, that might be able to catch their opponents off guard. But instead, Galactic showing that steadfast defense that we know them for. They have yet to give up a goal through over a minute of play and a lot of offensive pressure. Speaking of which, more passing plays coming through from Xpere. Kofyr off the ceiling, actually leaves it for Frosty. Flip reset, but nothing to do with it. Galactic at this point don't even seem phased by the offense that Xpere is throwing at them.
Hey, Coop denied. Set up in the corner. Xsync with the direct shot. That's the closest we've seen. Kofyr, incredible save. It's Frosty with the counter. The double still goes through. You just can't stop Reveal.
Reveal has been a scoring machine. He is averaging 2 goals a game at this point, or at least coming into this one, and he might just be able to keep that up 1-1 with 3 minutes to go. And once again, the duo of Frosty and Reveal strike when it matters most.
Tie game for now. Can Galactic claw their way back into the series? They have to peak here and now, and it has to start with getting in Reveal's way, and everyone's in the way of the net as Kofyr isn't able to pierce through it yet. It's Reveal with a reset going low, multiple defenders. Xsync with a backflip keeps it out.
Xsync barely blinking at that one. They've seen those flip resets into pinches far too many times. They've been scored on in this series from that. I don't think they're keen to give up another. Really good patience right now from Galactic. We talked about it before with Xpere being the faster team, really dominating the aerial space. It's not really happening anymore. These two teams are starting to actually need each other for these 50s, and Galactic, while they are shying away just a little bit from these challenges, it's more a patient version. They are not over-aggressing at times they don't need to, but they are making the challenges in a timely manner. I like this. They have found the silver lining. They have found that razor's edge that they need to balance on, and it's working out beautifully for them. Unfortunately, it hasn't resulted in a second goal, though. If Galactic want to get back into the series and take a win, they need to find one while they've got a chance.
There's been some small moments where Xpere look awkward on the ball and Galactic just hesitate too much on wanting to be aggressive and physical back at Xpere. As Frosty almost with the setup to the opponent until Reveal popped it up. Now mistouch from Xpere, and Galactic aren't playing fast enough to punish or to at least get into these windows of opportunity to get some offense rolling. And when they're demoed, it's Galactic constantly have to reset.
Oh, speaking of reset, they got to hustle back into their own side and see if they can get that defense going yet again. You might actually have to stay there for all too long. A passing play attempted, but cut out at midfield. Reveal back in the air with a reset. Double off the backboard, and nobody there to follow it up. You can see Xpere starting to take this a bit more seriously. Their midfield a little bit more contained. They're not going for these pre-jumps, but maybe they should, because a free transition for Galactic and another offense for our team in blue.
We're still tied. Galactic have a chance to get back in this series. It just takes one for them to force another game or for Xpere to close it out. And here's Frosty and Kofyr trying to organize themselves in the air, and that doesn't work out.
Oh, Corgi, double off the backboard, denied by reveal again. He really has been my MVP for the series so far, both in offense and defense. He's shown up when it matters most, but can they show up here with under a minute to go? If Xpere want to close this series out here, and now all they need is that one golden goal, or at least theoretically, technically have time for a couple more, but not if the defense isn't allowing anything. Another chance for Galactic. They will continue their offense at midfield, but the multiple pre-jumps from Xpere will get in the way.
Oh man, Xpere may have slowed down, but not for someone like Frosty. What a redirect, that's insane.
Oh, this is just so filthy. You can see it. Frosty knew as soon as that pass came out center, he had to hammer that one home, and he does exactly that. 25 seconds to go. Galactic, in my opinion, this has been your best game yet, but in order to complete it, you need to at least see an overtime and take the win. Double commit here. This is an open lane. Is anybody prepared to get the double touch? Coop misses, can't get there, but Corgi can, and we've got another tie.
Galactic have just stayed in that shadow this game of Xpere, and Frosty was right behind them. But Xpere leaving their defense open. Their backline weaker. Galactic have punished. 13 seconds. Are we going to extend the series or end it here? Our first grand finalist of the Upgrade Arena. Xpere working on just that reveal with a pass to Kofyr to the corner. Ball could land on the ground for our second overtime. This Xsync getting the ball up to Corgi, who has more boost, calls off Coop. Now reveal with 30 boost off the ceiling as the reset. Gets it towards the net, couldn't get the direct shot. We go to overtime.
This one hits the ground. We get our second OT of the series. The only difference this time is it was actually Galactic in the driver's seat for a majority of this game versus an Xpere who have really seemed a bit more uncomfortable at moments that they shouldn't have. So now, can Galactic take advantage, or do they overcommit? Kofyr off the backboard, sees the challenge, sees the net, and sees the series close.
Big GG's, Xpere with a 4-0. Kofyr with the solo play, insane from the high-low. They'll go on to the grand finals for a chance to fight for those Lenovo Legion PCs. And of course, we do have prizes for second and third place. And if you're the other semifinal, you better watch out. That is a terrifying team that is awaiting you in the grand finals. Up next, we're going to have BJHS Fusion versus Minions.
Oh, I'm very excited for that one. I mean, look, all props in the world to both Galactic and Xpere for the series that we just saw. Again, we came into this one knowing that Xpere were going to be the favorites. We had an idea that this could be a team that could win it all. But one thing I didn't expect was a Galactic that pushed them to 2 separate overtimes. Yes, it's a 4-0, but in my opinion, the overall game score there, or the series score, is not reflective of how close that was in many moments throughout that series. Props to Galactic. We talked about it. When this team was actually playing well on defense, it led to great transitions into offense, and they did so much with that ability to transition so quickly.
Xpere did so much in so little time. A 4-0 win to cement themselves in the grand finals. We got one more semifinal to go, and here are the replays of how that all broke down. It was a lot of solo plays and a lot of aggression off of Xpere, and physical too, like a lot of demos.
It was very physical, both in solo plays, like you said, and also through team bump plays as well, plus passing plays like this. This kind of felt like the bread and butter for Xpere throughout multiple moments in this series, where it was just over and over again. You would see these passing plays and also fakes like that. Again, Xpere, I think this was the game where they literally said, it's the aura. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. When you're scoring goals like that, it's very hard to.
Yeah, Xpere is just one of the most mechanical teams we probably have in this tournament. And it took a lot of effort defensively. It was a lot of goal line saves, though, which looked cool, very entertaining, but not if you're on the blue side. I think Galactic were stressing, but I think they had fun with this. I think you have to respect the big names coming from the orange side, and you come into this just doing your best. That's all you can really hope for. You got this far, and you're going to get some amount of prizing. to take down Xpere was gonna take out a lot. It was gonna take a lot out of you.
It's going to take a lot, and for whatever team sees this squad next, I wish you the best of luck. Next on the docket, we have got BJHS Fusion, which I'm going to make sure that I pronounce this fully right because we've got the actual school's name. It's Bob Jones High School Fusion versus our next opponent here in, I was going to make sure before it goes away, I believe it's Minions. Yes, Minions is going to be Tiber, Ian, and Not Glowing. That is not going to be a full high school team as in from the same school, but it is another team that has got a ton of experience behind it. I'm wondering if our audience is going to know of the Hoops legend Ian and the legacy that comes with him.
Oh, Hoops, but does he know ball, at least for competitive Rocket League? Well, we're about to find out. Everyone, stay tuned, stay in your seats, or at least get up to grab some snacks. We got another semifinal. We'll see you there.
We are trying to build the definitive amateur ecosystem for esports here in the United States and beyond. Our mission is to create transformative personal growth opportunities through competitive gaming.
It's important to make Scholastic Esports available to students because it gives them an opportunity to build their skill sets beyond just what's available in school. And so, traditionally you can build those skill sets through after-school programs or traditional sports, and there's a lot of folks that don't kind of align with what's available today. And in reality, like, everybody's a gamer, and so we give everybody the opportunity to build those skills.
For schools that are looking to add an esports program, you're opening a chance for students to really be part of a new culture and to really build something positive for your school. Our team is really focused on building this support system and really having a wraparound service for schools. You're not in it alone when you come to the PlayVS platform.
Our role in the space is to break this stereotype and basically show that there is actually a legitimate career path. So you can turn your passion into a career and be successful.
I'd say this is the most excited I've been about PlayVS. Gaming is one of the few things that you can actually compete against other people across the country without having to have the resources to jump on a plane, and people's worlds are going to be expanded.
One of the most important things is not about changing the world, it's about changing one person's world.
We are incredibly excited about unlocking more opportunities for more individuals to compete in competitive gaming across the PlayVS network going forward.